Woo! So we are here live with my dear friend, Lauren Powers, and this is going to be a power hour. You know, she has been fearlessly, oh my gosh, fit, fabulous, interviewing 28 amazing women all over the globe, you guys. And she is a world-renowned fitness celebrity, #1 international best-selling author in 98 categories, 11 countries, actress, model, celebrity, and you know what? International speaker. And she's all about women empowerment. And I'm so honored to interview Miss Lauren Powers today. And welcome, Lauren. I am so excited, and I think we need to start with probably your sizzle reel. So let me pull that out. I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to show you guys a little bit about Lauren for those of you that don't know who she is. So welcome, and let's dive in.
For a reason, to get people's attention. But my message is very global and very personal, and what that is it's never too late to look great.
Lauren Powers is 50 years old. Wow, super strong. She won the overall women's heavyweight bodybuilding championship.
The strongest women in the world.
Did too much.
Lauren Powers, a tradition, the annual Muscle Beach competition at Venice Beach. We asked 8-time title holder Lauren Powers why she keeps coming back.
It's never too late to look great from the inside out. I'm 51, still kicking butt and taking names. I've done so many things. I've been a firefighter, engineer in my hometown. But what happened? I got discriminated against. Why? Being different. But if I let that bother me, no, I can't let anything stop me. When one door closes, not only did a window open, but the world opened. Hi, my name is Lauren Powers, and I'm a fitness celebrity supermodel. I've been bodybuilding for the last decade of my life. I've been on E! True Hollywood with my own story. TLC. My name's Lauren. I'm from South Orange County. Addicted to bodybuilding. I start in the morning, I train as long as I do, and I never get enough. HBO, Bryant Gumbel, Real Sports. Promoters make money, the supplement companies make money, the photographers, the magazines, all these things. But for the athlete themselves, they're the ones that are treated the least. My latest music video was Principal with Lady Gaga.
It's your lucky day. Some idiot bails you out.
I come from a professional skateboarding background, and now I live this extreme, awesome lifestyle from surfing, stand-up paddling, you name it, I do it, and I do it well.
Lauren Powers, she's 51, she's Barbie with biceps, you're a female bodybuilder. Why are you a celebrity fitness diva? Why are you diva?
Hello, have you seen me?
How much do you bench press?
How much do you weigh? Stay feminine. Yeah. Like, I think that's why I get so much work, is because I still look like a woman, and, it's not hard muscles.
So, wow, may I introduce Miss Lauren Powers. Lauren, I'm so excited to interview you today.
That was quite an introduction. I'm having flashbacks. I guess I've done a lot recently, and that's just the highlights. I've done so many more things.
It's just the tip of the iceberg of what you've done. And you know what? Tonight, we're really going to go raw and very deep into your story, and there's no holding back, and that's what I love about you. And I want to share with the audience. I know recently you've been, becoming a #1 international best-selling author a year ago in 98 categories in 11 countries. And you've been reading your chapters, your book, your life's work. Yeah, on Facebook Live. And
yes,
I have to ask you this first question. How has it made you feel reading your own life stories, and what has been your takeaways?
Well, either very courageous or very crazy. I haven't figured out which one, because I couldn't even get through the introduction, Crystal. I'm not kidding, without just the tears, and my heart just blew right open. And I was so vulnerable, and I'm gonna probably cry just thinking about it, because I don't even know what made me so sensitive, but I guess because I haven't looked at it since it's been published, really, because it was so much writing it. By the time it came out, I was like, I'm on another project.
Exactly.
So now, after being in a leadership course, I just wanted to stretch myself, and I'm like, okay, what can I do? We've been in lockdown and quarantine for the last almost 4 months, right? I'm like, what can I do that's really stretchy, gets me out of my comfort zone while I'm still at home by myself? And I'm like, I know, I'll read my book live.
Which has been phenomenal. And the tears. Yeah,
every
stories.
Almost every chapter I have opened up and cried, because it's like I'm reliving my life and my experience, but I come from such a place that I'm to inspire other people through my journey. And that with the workbook, that in the combination of the two, and just having people on there and asking me questions, and just being really authentic, like you said, really raw. Obviously, I don't even read ahead. I just open up the book and I hit record and hit live, and there I go, and I just start.
Yes.
Sometimes I can't even choke out the words. But the more I've done that, the more vulnerable I get. It seems like the more people I connect with.
Exactly.
And I think that, that's new to me, because believe me, I wasn't a big open crybaby ever. Like so I'm this big fierce female, and this big champion bodybuilder and all this stuff that you just saw in the videos.
Right.
However, I've turned into this marshmallow.
Oh, and I love that.
Lauren Marshmallow Powers. That's my new name. Don't tell anyone, okay?
Oh, we won't. We won't. Even though it's exposed out there in the universe right now.
Yeah,
you know what? That is powerful, because right now, everyone in the world is looking for that vulnerability and the authenticity. And I don't know anyone better than yourself, that's real, raw, and you have nothing to hide. And I want to ask you.
Book.
I know it's an open book. You are, and your workbook. So I want to ask you this question: that and this is a big one, and then I'll pull up some slides here. But what was that defining moment, Lauren, in your life? Because you come and you've rose up from addiction, from being discriminated against, and to become a 10-time champion, and in the bodybuilding world, and a celebrity. You've worked with many celebrities, and I have a lot of questions here at the end on the celebrity part. Okay. A lot of questions have come in by promoting this. Those questions that maybe, questions that people put out that you don't want to answer, that are hidden. And that's why I love interviewing you. So what was that defining moment in your life that shifted everything for you?
Okay, you're right. We are going deep.
Right away.
Yeah, I like it. Dive right in, baby. Well, go deep or go home. Well, there's been a few, Crystal. You mentioned addiction and discrimination, and those are two separate issues, but they're both ginormous for me, actually, for a turning point. One is now that I'm 26 years clean and sober. Yes, I just had my 26th birthday a couple weeks ago.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so it's a big deal. Thank you. And that's been a huge turning point, because if I didn't stop that lifestyle, even though it was amazing and fun and I have no regrets, I'm telling you, I learned so much, back in the 80s, champagne and cocaine. I'm not going to lie. I was a hot shot. I was on jets and yachts and having the life of the rich and famous, and living in Hawaii, teaching surfing, and just having a blast. Since I was 21 years old, I just, partying my brains out at a high level, like I do everything, 100%, actually over 100%. I went over at everything. I partied enough for five people, they said. But the turning point was just when I had enough, when it stopped being fun. It wasn't rich and famous anymore. It was like, whatever, you hit bottom. It's like I was at my bottom. I looked around, I kicked all these people out of my house. It's all in my book, the story. I'm like, you guys, I'm done. I'm changing my lifestyle. I can't do this. I was skinny. I hadn't eaten. I was hanging out with crazy people. I had enough cocaine in my house to put me away for life. Literally.
Wow.
If I go big, anything I do it all the way. And this was, this was
you do.
Yeah, and I did, and that was the thing to do. It was very popular then, and so all the rock stars and celebrities were doing it, and I just fell into that same lifestyle at the time, and again, I have no regrets, because it's made me the person I am today. But I had that moment, and I just looked around. I called my mom. She's like my chosen sister. And I'm like, I need to change. I'm going down the tubes. My body was failing. I looked like crap. I thought I looked good, size 0, whatever. And, we do. So I just snapped out of it. It was Memorial Day weekend. My sobriety birthday is June 2nd. So I just celebrated that. And I've never looked back. And that's a huge thing. And I talk about that. And I like to promote this, because if you have an addiction of any kind, you really have to have the mindset that we talk about in speaking, but also in our lifestyle. And it's huge. And I've carried that through my whole life. I just set my mind to this, God willing, of course, but just made a change. And I read the Serenity Prayer, and I resonated with that so deeply. I say it every day, and I just stay in gratitude for my life every day, who I can help that and serve other people, get out of my way. And it's changed my life. So when this thing happened to me in the fire service, which is when the big discrimination case happened, for gender discrimination.
This story's powerful. Lauren.
Yes, that's a huge.
Yeah. So share with the audience how you came from that. What was the light bulb moment? And I think you shared with me at one moment, sitting by the pool, that light bulb moment.
With the fire service?
Your grandmother.
Oh, yeah. I was sitting. Yeah. So after I was sober a year, I'm like, what am I going to do with my life now? And I literally had this vision, epiphany, download, whatever you want to call it. I'm like, I am going to be a firefighter. It's like, this came to me out of nowhere. And I called one of my best friends, and I used to dress up a lot and wear hats. That was like my thing. And she's like, oh, that's perfect. You get to wear a hat. And I'm like, I believe they call it a helmet, but yes, you're right. It's so funny. It's so funny. But so what I do, I just got my car. I knew one firefighter ever. I met him in Palm Springs, him and his girlfriend. I went over there. It was in Newport Beach. I walked in. I'm like, hi, I'm ready. I want to be a firefighter. And they're looking at me like I'm crazy. And they're like, what do you mean? You have to go to school. You have to go to an academy. You have to pass the physical agility. You have to get certain grades. You have to have all those academics. It's a big deal. And I'm like, oh, shoot, I haven't been to school in 33 years. Well, I'm just sure. So sure enough, I went back to my grandma's, got on the phone, called the school he recommended. It was the number one in the country.
Yeah.
Just so happened they had orientation that following Monday. This was a Friday. On Monday morning, I'm in the college signing up for 21 units, which is insane. I haven't been to college in 33 years, something like that. Put my backpack on, my little baseball cap, went back to school with these 18 to 20-year-old boys, and I'm a 33-year-old woman, right? And kicked all their butts in school, became number one in every single academic course there was, not over just in my own class, but the entire curriculum of that particular, like Fire Behavior 101 or whatever it was, 102, 103, we had to take 104, 105, 106. There was all these different courses.
Wow.
Became number one in every single one of them for the whole semester. Kept all these cards in hindsight, which is amazing because this is leading up to a lawsuit.
Right.
But at the time, number one in everything, and I was a female and older than everybody. Went to the Fire Academy, which was a whole nother story about becoming physically fit. That was huge. I had to completely change my lifestyle. I was water skiing and wakeboarding. I lived out at Canyon Lake. I thought, oh, I've got this. I was, all cocky walking onto the fire grounds. Yeah. I'm like, I got this. Are you kidding me? I almost threw up. I was like, there's gosh. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There was
to be a female in that with a firefighter. Brutal. I mean, that's huge. And yeah, the discipline.
Brutal. Well, the fire, the agility itself was so grueling at the time. They've changed it since. My academy, actually, I was the last academy to go through before they
And what academy? And you were in Laguna Beach?
I was in the 100th Basic Fire Academy in Orange County, California. It was around Santiago. And it was a big deal. It was the 100th. We graduated at the Pond, which is where they held big concerts. And it was the first 99 classes had come. And it was a really, really big deal. And being a girl going through it was a huge ordeal. The news channels followed me and made a big ordeal. It was all over the media. I cut my hair off with the boys like G.I. Jane. Wow. I wanted to shave it bald. They had before we started, all the guys shaved their head completely bald at a big party before day one. But the chief wouldn't let me. He wanted to make sure I still looked like a girl. And I was half the size I was when I was competing. I couldn't keep any fat on because it was like going to boot camp in the military. Very similar, full time, grueling. Your boots had to be shined, your collar, everything. It was insane.
Wow.
Every day in the academy was not to be injured. That was my goal every single day, just to get through one day at a time, literally.
Yeah.
Passed flying colors, kicked butt, got hired by 2 different fire stations. Loved the job. Everything I had in my whole being was to be a full-time firefighter. And
then it did not happen, did it?
It didn't happen. And I use this as an example to show that no matter what you go through in life, whether it's, this was a gender discrimination lawsuit in the workforce, but it doesn't matter what it is, don't let that take you down. Instead, let me just be transparent here. It was devastating. I had to listen to 35 depositions for a year and a half of why these men.
Oh my God, Lauren.
Brutal. But you know what? In hindsight, I look back, and it was the best thing that ever happened to me. One, I wasn't supposed to be a firefighter in any station. I was meant for more, literally meant for more. And I've been told this by different mediums, psychics, spiritual healers, like all kinds of
photographers.
Yeah, right. Everyone now. Yes. Hollywood. But so it didn't take me down. It fueled me to move on, move through, change my mindset, change my course, get out of my own way, and just let God lead my journey now. And once I replaced that fear of that failure that I thought it was and replaced it with faith and just took the footsteps literally and just got out of the way and woke up every day and just said, okay, what am I meant to do today? And my life completely got easier. I just followed my spirit guide, if you will. God just led me, and I've never looked back.
Yeah.
And literally, and it was amazing. I mean, I completely got launched into my fitness career. Like I said in the video earlier, you see me speak on stage, and I share this because when one door closes, not only did another door open, like the world opened up for me. Literally, I was an international superstar overnight. Yeah, I went to Las Vegas, and I was on a plane to Chicago on national TV, talk shows. I was a celebrity guest. I've been in numerous commercials, films, TV, anything to do with it. They needed a fitness person. I was there, but I did the work. That's the thing. I did the work. I went to the auditions.
Honestly, Lauren, I do want to bring you back to the addiction part, you know, where you were and what that light bulb moment before all the celebrity, because I will bring up, you know, all of that here in a bit.
You just want to see me cry.
I seriously.
I'm doing enough of that by reading my book.
I know, but doll, this is what people want to know out there. And the questions that I've gotten, you know, how did you go that from that light bulb moment being in your own home and realizing you needed to get clean and get the help and get sober and the treatment, and how did you pay for it? I mean, how did you transition into that to get the help? I definitely want to dive into that right now before we move on.
Well, no, it's a good thing because I'm, you know, supposed to be anonymous, but nothing I do is anonymous. I'm a public figure. So my whole life is out there ready for the public. It is. So, but I use that for a platform for good. And like, if I can help other people get sober and I can sponsor others, and through my story and what I did and how I did it and share my experience, strength, and hope with newcomers, that's part of the process and part of the steps in the program, if you will. You've got to give it back. And so I treat everything in my whole life about giving back. The last chapter in my book is called Give Back. So
love that. Right?
Yeah. And so, because you can't keep it unless you give it away.
Mm-hmm.
And that goes with any type of addiction, whether it's food, sex, gambling, drugs, alcohol, whatever, it doesn't matter. Addiction is an addiction. Mine just happened to be, like I told you, champagne and cocaine because I thought it was hot.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I drank a lot.
You went to a rehab. You went to rehab.
My mom took me to one of her best friends that they grew up. She knew me before I was even conceived. She knew my mom and dad when I was little. I mean, before I was born, she knew my mom when they were little. And she happened to run, be the dean of this rehab center in Orange County where I live. And she had me just go talk to her. And she said, this is in my book as well, because it's just so pertinent. She said, okay, Lauren, I've known you since before you were born, and you are a smart woman. You have 3 choices here. You can keep living the lifestyle you're doing and end up hospitalized, institutionalized, like in jail or a hospital, going crazy. You could die.
Yeah.
Or you could stay here and get help and change your life. And that's all she said to me. This was how short the interview was. And I'm like, well, I don't like the first 2, so I guess I'll stay.
I guess I'm here.
So
I love it.
And that was it. That's all she said. I called my mom, like, I'm going to stay here. This is good. I read the Serenity Prayer there. I called my chosen sister. I read it to her. She started crying. She thought I made it up. The famous prayer, right? She's like, make that up. I'm like, no, it's on the wall. And I'd never been exposed to that. I literally didn't even know what a big book was. That's the book of Alcoholics Anonymous, right?
Right.
I just heard people mention this big book. I just thought it was a large book.
Oh, that's funny. Oh my God, I love it. And
I didn't. Yes, I wasn't open to it. But because I didn't know any sober people because I wasn't sober. So it's to show you attract what you want, and your tribe is so important. Who you surround yourself with. I surrounded myself with high level entrepreneur party people. They were very wealthy and also indulged and lived this amazing lifestyle back in the 80s. Again, remember, I was not alone. This was
you weren't alone. I lived in the 80s. I get it. I mean, that was
for a loser.
I totally get it, sister. I'm so proud of you because you just celebrated, like you said last week, 26 years sober. And I have to commend you because, Lauren, you are around now celebrities and events and people that are partying around you. And it's
sober.
Very,
that keeps me sober.
Yes.
It does. It doesn't bother me. Like I was only in that little clinic for, I think, 3 days, something like that. And I thought I graduated. Like I memorized all the steps. I memorized half this book. I'm an overachiever, right? I'm like, oh, I got this. Great. Let me out of here. Well, that doesn't work like that.
No.
So a 28-day thing, you asked how I paid for it. My dad paid for that. And it was a live-in deal in Newport Beach. And it was with all women. They just let you learn new structure, which I didn't have any. I just did what I want every day. And so being very structured, that, head count in the morning and the night, and then put your kids in meetings and cook your meals and live with each other. And So it was for 28 days. And that was it. And then that's all it took really for me. And then I started bartending at a wedding company, ended up leveling up.
Wow.
CEO of the whole company, right? Laguna Beach.
So you
And
come out
pouring
of rehab and you're a bartender.
Right out of rehab, pouring drinks. Yeah, at weddings. And seeing all the drunk people really helped me stay sober too, because at weddings people go crazy, right? I saw all this insane stuff because I was sober and I'm like, wow, man, these people are nuts.
Wow.
But it was fun to watch. And I don't care. I don't judge people. I mean, that's the whole thing. I've been judged my whole life.
Yeah, and
that's
I'm
been
just so proud of you. And I had to share that with our audience because there's so much corruption and addiction out there, you guys. And Lauren has been through it. She walks the talk, talks the talk. And I'm going to share my screen so I can pull up some
surprises. More surprises. You're
and some celebrities that she's been with that are absolutely incredible. So are you seeing my screen, Lauren?
Yeah, there's the book.
There's the book, and Dare to Be Different. I love the book, and you guys, you've got to tune into Lauren.
Change your screen.
Yes, and Lauren, yes,
there it is. Yeah.
Yeah, you're Dare to Be Different. And, you know, you guys, she's been featured, TLC, oh my gosh, Lady Gaga, and beyond Lady Gaga, that sizzle reel did not show J-Lo and Justin Bieber, right?
Right.
And you've been written up, you've been on multiple movies, TV, True Hollywood, Botched, and why don't you share a little bit about your bodybuilding experience and that she's a 10-time heavyweight bodybuilding champion. I mean, you went on from that firefighter story, a lawsuit, onto this, and share that experience and becoming the champion from within and leadership. You're all about leadership and empowerment and champion. So share a little bit about your successes and what lights you up, Lauren, with the fitness world.
Well, yeah, after the firefighting thing, I had gotten really strong to pass that physical agility test. I told you that I almost wanted to puke all over the event, which I didn't. I took it 12 times before I passed it, and I passed at the very last chance before I went into that big 100th basic fire academy. But I got so strong that when I went to the Olympia competition in Las Vegas, which is huge in the fitness world, never had been to one in my life, and that's where I got discovered, literally walking around at the expo, got plucked out of the audience, thrown on stage, won a Battle of the Biceps contest, first place, won 2 tickets to the Arnold Schwarzenegger show, for airfare, hotel, and VIP with Arnold. And this was my first experience. Had a laugh. It was just like crazy. And been on TV. I started traveling all over the world. I've literally toured for 10 years, having a blast with another pro bodybuilder. It just was just amazing times. Made money, traveled, just this great, amazing lifestyle, and competed all over the place. Had tons of fun. But, you know, every time I competed was for a reason. Like I was in a reality show. I was representing our country. Japan came over and wanted to interview America. So I was like Miss America on the stage with my red, white, blue outfit. Gosh, just so many different things. I was on Travel Channel, just different interviews. Every time the news came down, I was always on it. I mean, let's put it this way. They always tease me that I never met a camera that I didn't like.
Yeah. And you are great. I mean, that's where I was like, I mean, when I talked to you last year and you were like you were at an event. I mean, we're the event queens, and that's how Lauren and I met at an event.
Las Vegas.
Yeah, in Vegas. And it's interesting because you were like, Les Brown. And I'm like, Les Brown? You met Les Brown? And I jumped out of my skin. And then the next thing I know, you're at his birthday party. Yeah.
That's how I roll, baby. That's how I roll.
That's how you roll, girl. And, you know, you are really big into personal development, obviously.
Yes.
And all this celebrity, and a lot of people, our viewers out there, you guys, Lauren, it just goes so much deeper than that. The celebrity and you're 10-time champion, traveling the world, being an international speaker, and speaking on stages. I have to ask you, what would you say is the most accomplished, piece that you're very proud of in your business, in your life?
The most? Well, gosh, there's so many. Overcoming the discrimination, launching my book was a big, challenge that I overcame, and a big obstacle and a big project. That promoting my own fitness competitions, from being a competitor to a guest poser, and then now promoter of my own shows the last 6 years, and standing and holding my own against the big conglomeration that's out there, that's all over the country. And I'm just one single girl just doing shows, hosting the World Championships in 2018. I had over 200 professional, beautiful, top in the country athletes from 40 countries come and compete on my stage. It was a 3-day show. Very proud of that. We gave out pro cards and money, and it was just amazing. Very, very proud. Held the show in Huntington Beach. It was the largest World Championships in ever to be held here in USA under my promotion. So I was super proud of that. And then promoting my own women's empowerment events, and then becoming a speaker without really even having programs, just getting up there and being raw and vulnerable and speaking from the heart tends to be my character, if you will.
That's your MO, girl. And that's part of how you're developing. I mean, how have you developed your core strategy? How that's played into achieving that accomplishment, right?
Yeah. Do you want to take this slide off? Because there's Lady Gaga, there's Jamie Foxx.
Let me go one more. Oh, we'll get into that later. I'm going to stop the share. I'm going to go back to us.
Okay, there you go.
I want to dive into that core strategy that you've developed, and being, the 10-time champion, and obviously the bodybuilding world, and what that's, it qualifies you obviously to being a speaker and putting these events together. Mm-hmm. And why did you put these events together? Share a little bit about that in the bodybuilding world. Well,
I was, competing obviously many times. I have, tons of trophies. I'm done. I don't need any more trophies. But the politics in the sport just really was bothering me, and how the judges, depend on who's your coach and how much money you spend and who you're sleeping with. This is real stuff, and I don't care if they come after me. This is legit. Everybody knows it. I'm not speaking out of school, and I just didn't like it. So what I did something about it. I started my own, and I gave athletes a stage to compete on that's fairly judged based on the physique they brought to the stage that day, not who their coach is, not how much money they spend, not if they're married to a judge or on a team with a judge. Some of these things that, like in ice skating or any other of those sports, it's, the judges, it's you're dealing with humans. And so I just started my own, and it's been a really big deal. And then since then, promoting those shows, I got into going to all these networking events with women's empowerment, got introduced to that just a couple of years ago. And I'm like, oh, wow. So I'm like, I'll do a women's empowerment event. And so asking female speakers to be on my stage was so much easier than getting women to compete in a bikini.
Really? Wow. Okay. That's good to know.
Yes, it was great. Everybody wants to speak. Like these speakers, even now, look at us. We want to speak in Singapore. Right. We want to speak everywhere. And so it's a much easier as a promoter to do that and get sponsors and vendors. And so I just love that. I just took my my promotional abilities from fitness and moved it to women's empowerment. And that served my soul a little bit more at this point in my life, Crystal. I've done so much in fitness and kind of just like maxed out. And there's such a big organization out there that I was always fighting against. And it just wore on me a little bit. I gave everything I had to these athletes, the best trophies, the best prizes, the best sponsorships, connections. And I share everything that I've got. Literally. And then they just go on to do something else. It's like,
it's a lot. And
it's a lot. And I did it for pure passion, not so much profit at all. Like it cost me money for these people to come to my shows. And everybody knows that, but it's, I was known as the show that gives back, and I'm very proud of that. I hosted the World Championships, as I said, and nobody can take that away from me.
No one can ever take that away, Lauren.
No, never. And all the things I've got to do, I mean, all the music videos, like you mentioned, I just did Justin Bieber, I just did Jennifer Lopez, I worked with Katy Perry. I mean, all the greats, I get picked for it. So there's something to be said about that. I must be doing something right. And, at my age, to be in a bikini in these major videos, it's kind of crazy. Like, who does that? Nobody.
Exactly. And that's the thing. You didn't even start bodybuilding, I mean, at an age that
40.
These people are retiring.
Most people are retired at 40. I started at 40, and I'm proud of that. I won a show at 40, and then a decade later at 50, I won the same show. And again, nobody can take that away from me. And that's that. And it's, a
true champion and so inspirational.
Thank you. It's lifestyle though, you see, and that's what launched me into having my own 6-step proven formula called the Fierce Formula.
That was my next question. So share a little bit about your process, your program, and your 6-step process.
Well, absolutely, because through everything I've been, all my experience, and now I consider myself an inspirational, transformational health expert. And I focus on females to become fit, fierce, fabulous, and financially free. And it's fun. But that's, I do that to share, because so many women now that I surround myself with, we're women entrepreneurs, and we're so busy, even myself, building our businesses, that we forget about ourselves.
Yes, we do.
So I really, really focus on making health our top priority so that we can live this life of abundance, become a better version of ourselves from the inside out. And I take people from where they are now, I just meet them where they are, and then where they want to go, we fill in the gap through the Fierce Formula, through assessment, nutrition, supplements, of course, a little bit of exercise. We got to move.
Oh, yeah.
Mindset, it's all starts with the mind. And as you know, and every speaker I know says mindset, mindset, mindset. But why? Because it is so important.
It is.
It is. And like, even change my addiction and my mindset. It's all my mindset. I made a decision and I just stuck to it. It's just that simple.
Well,
and it, but it's a lot of work, but it can be simple if you allow it.
Exactly. And I want to bring up the point, Lauren, of you and I both know, I mean, because I was a competitive ice skater back in the day, skated with 4 Olympic gold medalists, was mentored by Carlo Fassi. And we understand the importance of having a coach.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, talk about that, how important it is, because you would not be where you're at today without having coaches to help you, push you. And
absolutely.
What I love is that you're lifting up others, what you seeked out and did in the fitness world to lift others up, and you went against the grain. And wow, that is powerful.
Yes, big deal. Well, and I talk about this as well, because as women, we tend to compare ourselves to one another or compete against each other in some way, whether we do it consciously or unconsciously. It's kind of an innate thing. But instead of tearing each other down, I am all about lifting each other up and collaborating. So it's a different C. Instead of competing and comparing, I collaborate. Much easier.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Much easier, right? You get clear on these things and your life just changes. And it has for me, and I'm just staying gratitude. And I think that is one of my key tips to share, is that we can choose how we have our attitude every single day. That when we wake up, we can choose to be grumpy, sleepy, not motivated. We can make excuses, back into oral stories, whatever it is. And a true leader just chooses to be positive, go through the motions anyways, get to the other side of whatever it is. My whole book is about my personal experiences and how I have triumphed over tragedies and excel, and use those things to propel me instead of bring me down.
Right. And
these are the things that I teach in my Fierce Formula. It's not just lifting weights. That's the least thing that it is. So let's just be clear with that. I'm a bodybuilder and all that, but that's what I did. That's not really who I am. That's why the book's called Beneath the Muscle, because if you read this, you'll see there is so much more to me than just muscles. It's beneath it. And I look at that as a shell, but it's so important to that's why I say to become a better version of yourself from the inside out, because it's so important to have that when we look good and we feel good and we fit into our favorite clothes and we have that confidence. What happens? We start making more money. We make better choices. We live better. We're happier. And this is how we can build wealth and through our health. And then it's happening. And my whole show, the PowerHourTV.com, which we're going to talk about, because that's.
Yes, we are. We're going to talk about that. And look,
yeah, this
oh
is
my
the opening
gosh.
ceremony. This interview is the opening ceremonies for that. So I want everybody to kind of get to know me a little bit, what I've been through, and why I chose these certain female experts to be on this show. I've hand selected every single one of them. And Crystal, I'm really proud to say that I've been supporting so many people in the last couple of years with all the networking and women's empowerments and events and traveling and doing all these things that I've done that I never asked anybody for anything. And so when this came around, I decided to do an online show. I picked my people, and every single one, 100% of the ones I asked said yes. And I was just
That's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's feedback for me, and it just shows when you give, and then ask, it makes things so much better. So if you're enrolling people in your own programs or whatever it may be, keep that concept. Give before you ask. Just don't go in with an offer.
Exactly, and that's why I love, Lauren, you've put this summit together because this is some powerful, powerful women. And you guys, I'm going to have to bring. You want me to bring up the slides?
Well, you talked about how important it is to have a coach. I've had, I learned from my posing. When I first started the bodybuilding, I learned from the best. They were 2 top Miss Olympias, and they taught me how to pose right away. So everything I've done, I learned from the best, the champions, the winners. And so I just go right from A to B. There's no, I don't have time to mess around. I don't have time. I just go, directly. I do that in everything in my life. And so same thing with this women's empowerment and entrepreneurs. I went right to the top of everything that I've been to. I meet the CEO, the founder, the president, whoever it is. I meet them. It's just how I roll. But that's my way. But it's because it's connections, and I've built these relationships, and I'm very, very proud of that, and very grateful, and so blessed that they're all in my show coming up. Well, if you slip through and let
me go there. And what I want to share, you guys, is you are going to save, by diving into this free summit, 15 to 30 years on the learning curve from these powerful women. I mean, period. You guys, and the financial money. I cannot even tell you, I've spent $500,000 to get here. And you guys, you are learning from the top 28 females. Yes, 28. We're going to go there. And you guys, authors, speakers, international speakers, and influencers that are going to help you, all of us. And I'm so proud of Lauren for putting this summit together. So let's dive in, and I'm going to share my screen.
We're going to get a sneak
We're going to
peek.
get a sneak peek. Yes, here we go.
Who's to come on the show. So make sure you guys opt in while she's getting that pulled up.
Yeah.
We'll have the link below, but it's PowerHourTV.com. Super simple. Yeah. All the influencers are there, and they're going to be an hour show each day for this online TV show. Again, the top I can find. You got the slides?
Yeah. Do you see my screen?
No. I just see purple.
Uh-oh. Okay. Here, hold on. Let me play this. Stop share. Let me go back.
Yeah, just do it again.
I'll do it again.
Very retrograde, so expect technical difficulties, but we just keep going. That's how
we keep rolling with it. Here we go.
We are fierce. Here's the fierce logo. While you're doing that, I'll show this on my screen.
Do you see my screen now?
Only just the top header of something. Hour, here.
Do you see it and hear it?
Yeah, that's done. There you go.
There we go. So here we are. You take it over, Lauren.
Yeah, so this is where I've gathered over 25 female executives sharing their top secrets on how to be healthy, wealthy, and happy. And here's the key, you guys. They've all done it without sacrificing one for the other. Because again, I meet so many business women that they've sacrificed their health because they're so busy building their wealth. But let me just tell you right now, without your health, what is your wealth? And I'm here to tell you, I've trained very wealthy people in my 30 years experience, and the toys, the homes, the cars, the jets, all of this stuff means nothing if you don't feel good and you can't get on a plane or your own plane or anything and enjoy yourself if you don't feel good. So you've got to put that mindset on your health first. That's my whole basis. That's my passion. This is what I'm here for. Everything I've learned, I share with my clients how to be a fierce female from the inside out. But this isn't about me. This is about my experts. There they are. There's their beautiful faces, all of them. That's a nice collage of everybody. And I believe we have separate banners on each one. I'll just.
And here you go. Here we go.
Amy Yamada, amazing high ticket mastery coach. Love her. She was my coach in my leadership course. This woman is amazing. She's going to show you how to enroll and be yourself. Ann Bennett is Renegade Branding. So she tells you how to brand yourself and kick butt and she's a top speaker. She's amazing. Who else do we have here? Caprice, she runs HeartLink Women's Organization. It's amazing, all about giving. Then each one of these has gifts as well, you guys. So when you tune in, each day you're going to get a free gift, and I highly suggest it. Oh, who's that?
Yeah, hello. And I have major gifts. Yeah.
Voice to visibility.
Yeah, voice to visibility. I'm all about voice to visibility and getting with online to increase your visibility, catapult your credibility, and impact your audience and income. I was so honored, and we had so much fun in the interview. Lauren, so much fun.
Yeah. And then we've got Diana Sabatino. She's a dear friend. She's one top executive managing director for eWomen Network, who is amazing. I went to Dallas. There was 118 chapters there. Diane Kaiser is a top functional fitness expert. She gives a lot of tips and tricks and tons of free gifts on the back end for your health and for leaky gut issues. Dee Dee Wong, my twin sister. Dee Dee Wong from Hong Kong. I know we look exactly alike. We always tease. She's an international world speaker, women entrepreneur. She's so awesome, authentic. Went to India with her. She's my dear friend. She's an amazing
so much fun.
Speaker. She's amazing. Yeah. So you guys tune into her as well. She shares from her heart. Each one of these speakers, literally, I brought out something in them that we got real emotional, what have you. There's Esther, who does the code breaker with AI techniques and bank on why they buy. So you want to learn different language. Right there's your girl. She's given a bunch of different gifts as well. Super awesome with her and Sherry Tree run that. Felicia, another millionaire maker. She's amazing. She's a spiritual guru. Awesome.
Ooh, I love the spiritual piece, Lauren.
Yeah, she's very spiritual. Yes, I got a little of everything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and look at who's here.
Yeah, Forbes. She's cool. She's a health guru as well. TV host. She's done like $1 billion, zillion dollars on what do you call it? QVC or whatever.
Yeah, QVC. Oh my gosh! I bought stuff from her.
Yeah, and I got a cruise with her, a marketer's cruise. We had a blast. She's super cool. She gives a lot of good. She made me cry on my own interview. Let me just tell you up front. So if you want to see me cry, tune into Forbes Day. Yeah. And this is my queen. This is my celebrity. This is Dr. Harbeen Arora. I've been to India twice, and that was my first speaking gig on a huge stage with like 2,000 people, women from all over the world. Mamie took me there with, oh my gosh, Andrea went, Dee Dee Wong was there the second time. It was the most amazing.
You know what,
thing.
Lauren, share a little bit about that. When you arrived there this last time and speaking in front of all those women and the impact, I mean, what is it like to speak internationally?
It's amazing. And I'd like to be a participant, really, because I learned so much, because she attracts women from all over the world. It's Women Economic Forum, and talk about give back. Her heart is so huge. I mean, every word out of her mouth, you just hang on to it. I mean, I was crying on stage. I got to give her my book and signed it and do a whole tribute to her from all my speakers, because I run the All Ladies League for her in Orange County, and I gave Women of Excellence and awards. And maybe you were there.
Yes, it was phenomenal. I'm just so impressed.
Yeah, she mailed India all the plaques. She mailed all these plaques for me, and so the girls couldn't come to India to receive their award, so they did a video like the Oscars or something.
Yeah.
And so she allowed me to play it on the big Gravitron screens, and it was very emotional. I was crying. It was just amazing. So she gave me an hour of her time from India. So I'm very honored she's on the show. Jackie Lappin, another great speaker. She actually has forms for speakers, and so she teaches you how to get on lists and podcasts and live events, and she's got it going on. She does a whole slideshow on her presentation.
Yeah, she's amazing. I've met Jackie. Yeah. I've met a lot of these women. I know Esther.
They're the top people. Of course, these you have
great power women.
Miss Jenna, she runs the CEO of Brave Masters, and she breaks down your ego, and so you can propel in business. She gives so much in her interview. Amazing. Love this girl. She's just awesome. That was Jennifer Deep Stratton. Somewhere in there.
I lost my screen.
Yeah,
Can you see my screen?
No.
Hold on.
But
I got to go back and share it again. Sorry.
I'll keep talking. Jennifer Deep Stratton is also another success sales, and she is an expert in high ticket sales. So she helps you if you are a coach and you want to learn how to up your game and level up and start offering more money. She is your girl. Her name is Jennifer Deep Stratton. There she is. And then after Jennifer, who do we have there? Lisa Sasevich, it looks like.
Yeah.
Lisa Sasevich is the queen of conversion and sales conversion. She's the top closer. She gave me another hour interview, which you guys can learn so much from her. She's got her best-selling book out called Meant for More. Love that. There she is. She was one of my mentors and coaches. I did some VIP with her, some boot camp things with her. You talked about coaches. I've worked with a lot of these people already, and they've coached me. I've worked with Jennifer. I've worked with almost everybody here. Lisa, you, Crystal, Jenna. Like, I work with everybody. Laurel Langmeyer is a millionaire maker. She's a finance guru, queen of wealth. She claims I've spoken on many stages with her. Miss Mamie, she's my mama.
Yep.
Mamie Langley, yes, she's amazing. Mamie is the best.
She is. She knows how to run events, and she is incredible. Big speaker with Success Resources. Yeah, former.
All of guys. So she gave me an hour of her time, and we had a nice heart-to-heart talk. Love her. You can learn a lot from her. She also has some free gifts on there. Who's next?
Big hearts. All these women have big hearts and so much to give.
Yeah, Megan has the I Am Enough movement and nonprofit, and she's amazing. She comes from military. She's got a best-selling book herself. She's so great. She gives a whole list of gifts. She was very generous with her interview, and she's doing amazing things right now.
So Lauren, I bet you guys really connected with the championship and military. Hello, and the firefighter days.
Awesome. Yeah, we met at City Summit. Megan here is the CEO and founder of the Dames, which is a high-level entrepreneur women's networking group. You have to be a 6 or 7 figure income earner just to be part of her organization. So it's very for high success leveled up females. Fabulous. You. Yeah. Michaela also runs the Global Women of Los Angeles, and she travels all over the world as a speaker and runs summits in LA. And I got to speak on her stage, and she's my personal coach right now in business.
Oh,
she's amazing. And she also speaks in EQ, so emotional.
Oh, emotional. That's awesome.
Yeah, so we've got her. She gives some gifts away. There's my other pal, Queen of Wealth, Miss Olympia. She's got a whole game for maintaining and changing your mindset about wealth. Super awesome. Another good show to tune into. Every day is going to be amazing.
Yes. I mean, how long? I mean, Lauren, this goes on for how many days?
It'll be a month.
Wow.
We have an interview. We'll have 28 speakers, and then my wrap up on the end. So a 30-day show.
And it's free.
Yeah, it's
you
free.
Guys, everyone has to opt in. My God.
Look at Paula's eyes. She's really intense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does Paula do? What is Paula?
She, gosh, I interviewed her so long ago. She does like spiritual healing and connections and stuff like that. If I'm not mistaken, I'd have to look at the notes. I just met her, and she was so powerful, and I just loved her energy that I put her on the show.
Yeah, beautiful eyes. Wow.
She's awesome, though. She does meditations and just really. Robbie has been around. She's like the global director for NAFE, which is National Association of Female Entrepreneurs. She is the queen of the women's networking. Everyone knows Robbie. They all love her. She's nominated me for a bunch of awards for women's empowerment, for best selling author, and I'll be getting different awards from her. She's really big in all of that. She's amazing. So tune into her as well. She's been around a long time and really supports women. She's great. Love her.
I'm sure her knowledge, my gosh. Wow.
Yes, absolutely. Robin I met her at eWomen Network. She's a platinum member with me, and she's amazing. She's a financial guru, advisor, and she's licensed in so many different things, and she's an all-around wealth builder. Powerful information, really at the top of it. So she's great. And there's Miss Sandra. She is the founder and CEO of eWomen Network. She's the queen, the top food chain of eWomen. If you're a women entrepreneur, you know what that is. And she's across the country, and they opened up Australia. And I'm so grateful for her. You guys, she came in during COVID, the lockdown, quarantine, came in by herself into her office in Dallas and came in to personally be on my show. So do not miss Sandra. Oh my gosh, we cried together. I mean, it's just amazing. The interviews are just so raw, so authentic. They're like behind the scenes. You learn something from each one of these powerful women. And I'm just so honored that they're on.
I know. Oh my God, Lauren, this is so much fun.
It's a big deal. And Miss Tara's one of I love Tara. She's doing a vision to business. She's very spiritual, and she's a leadership coach with Hardcore. I just finished a 4-month leadership, and she was one of the coaches in there. And she's just amazing. So she's got some amazing gifts, a great story. We laughed. She's awesome, a beautiful soul.
Wow.
A lot to share. Yeah, she's
the power of leadership, right? And championship. I mean, that's what it's all about. And for us to stand out as females.
Absolutely. Tara is the bomb. And then Teresa, isn't she beautiful?
Yes. I met Teresa.
Yes, her story is so heartwarming, you guys. And she's one of the ones that's been through just so much heartache and tragedy, and now leads the most luxurious life of anyone I know. She's on TV all the time. She's a huge YouTuber. She films almost every day in her bazillion-dollar home. She's got the Rolls and the Bentley and all the toys. But she's grateful, and she's so humble, and a very dear friend of mine. And she's so giving. She's giving her book away on the show, like all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
But talk about traumatic experiences. Her story is very powerful, how she's been through that and come up on top and lives this life of luxury, but gives back. She's got the largest closet in the world. I mean, you guys have got to look her up. She is awesome. And she's like my sister. People think we remind each other of her. I've had strangers come to me going, "You remind me of this girl on TV that lives in Texas." And I go, "Oh yeah, Teresa." And they're like, "You know her?" Like I'm like, "Yes." Yeah, it's really cute. So she was on the show.
Well, and my daughters looked up her closet on her TV, on her TLC. Oh my God, they were like, "Oh my God, Mom, she's beautiful." I cannot wait to hear her story, Lauren. Her story.
You hear it. It is very intense and I was like crying. It was, oh my gosh, she's been through a lot. And that, my dear,
is
all
you have quite the lineup here.
Yes,
so
I do.
Where do people go to sign up for this summit that begins Monday?
Right, PowerHourTV.com. We're going to start, this Monday, and this will be the kickoff interview for it. So if you're watching this, you're going to be on the show. So I'm very, very thrilled. PowerHourTV.com is the landing page. You've got 2 opt-ins there. We're super excited, and it's amazing. Don't miss one day, really.
No, they've got to opt in.
Free, you guys.
Yeah, it's free, you guys, and you're hearing obviously from some phenomenal women that are empowering. And Lauren, I'm so excited you've put this summit together.
Thank you. I'm excited too.
And I have to ask you something. I mean,
More?
now that you've gone through all these interviews, you know your mission and purpose in life now.
Absolutely.
And it's, you are so laser focused. You're fierce, fabulous at 50. And it's all about family and fun. And share with our audience, summing up all of it, going through this summit, interviewing, how, you know, bringing out the best version of yourself and empowering women and going through this summit, what it's brought you in your life.
Well, yes, it's been quite an undertaking. Like I told you, I was just thrilled that everybody was so positive. Like Forbes Riley is like, Lauren, of course we all want to be on your show. We all love you. And so that was really a big compliment. You know, she's been doing this a long time and we're in the same industry and we know a lot of the same people. In fact, her fiance won his pro card on my stage and when at the World Championship. So it was we got very connected and we were on a cruise together and all that. So yeah, but just the connections, I think it has been so powerful, and it goes to show you how important these relationships are. Don't ever judge who you're meeting if you're at these women's things. You never know who you're talking to, and always be there to serve. And if you put that intention out there first, you can't lose. You just serve, give, and things will come your way when they're supposed to. And just be patient and get out of your own way. And be fierce and fabulous yourself. Don't try to be anyone else that you're not. Be authentic to who you are, because it takes a lot of energy to be someone else. I don't understand that. It does.
I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you for putting this together. It's a lot of work, but our audience needs to know they're missing everything if they don't tune in. I mean, saving 15 to 30 years on the learning curve and millions of dollars. I mean, these women have spoken and impacted millions of lives. Right,
Absolutely.
Lauren?
Yes, they're huge speakers. Yes. They're the top of the food chain. I miss Shelly Hunt. I didn't see her. She's also the CEO and founder of
Shelly. Shoot.
Women of Global Change. She's a good friend. She's endorsed my book. Shelly Hunt.
Shelly's phenomenal. I've met Shelly. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. The leadership course, which I've also attended, the SICE seminars. She's the founder one of that with her mom and the president and Jane Wilhunt. And that's a PSI. I've been through that whole program as well. And so she's, I don't know where her picture is, but she's on the show.
I know she is on the show.
And personal friend of mine, she called me today. She's like, how much more leadership do you need, Lauren? You are a true leader. Just start implementing,
Shelly's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Beautiful woman. Well, so they go to, again, Lauren, it's
PowerHourTV.com. PowerHourTV.com. Simple.
All right.
All the other speakers have their own affiliate links. So if you know them, go on their links. It's a free, free online show. I've devoted the last 5 months of my life to this thing, and we're launching soon. And so I'm so excited you're here. If you're watching this interview, you're part of the show, and I'm very honored and blessed and enjoy it.
And thank you, Lauren, for being vulnerable, authentic, and being the champion from within that you are, and unleashing your power. You're fierce, feisty, at 50, fun. Oh yeah, your t-shirt. Woo-hoo!
Yeah, so you want to be a fierce female, get in touch with me. I'm very accessible. My program starts. I've got 5 more spots. I'm looking for people that want to be a better version of themselves from the inside out. So,
yes, we're on it. Thanks, Lauren. Have a great night.
All right. Thanks to everyone. Love you guys.